I dropped over $2,000 on summer fragrances again, and honestly, I lied to myself. But you know what? So what? No regrets. It's a new season, so you know what that means, new rotation. And if you want the hottest fragrances for this upcoming season, then this is the video for you. Come back. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video, Smell Good with Jenna. I'm, of course, Jenna. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're into fragrance layering and just smelling like you got your life put together, then you know what you need to do. Stay blessed. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So you've seen the intro. I lied to myself. If you've been with me in the beginning of the year, you know that I've mentioned in my videos that I wanted to be intentional when it came to my fragrance purchasing. And honestly, it sounds like I have a problem. I just may have a problem. But I wanted to buy a couple of freshies here, maybe some tropical scents, some masculine scents, and now 18 bottles of fragrances later, we have a problem. So without further ado, let's get right into my summer haul. So first up, we have City Rhythm Puerto Rico. I have actually a couple of fragrances from the house, so we'll discuss that. But this is a house that I've seen gaining traction on social media, not so much on YouTube, but definitely on social media. And what caught my attention from the house was the ever so popular 2654. That's part of their Red Line collection between their popular scents, Miami and San Diego. So I wound up picking that up in my previous haul. But once I saw that a lot of their fragrances are named after cities, I saw Puerto Rico, even though Puerto Rico is not a city, I knew I had to get this just because if you know me, I'm a very proud Puerto Rican, and as a Boricua, I felt I needed this to represent. This is a beautiful tropical scent. It smells like a vacation. It has notes of mango milk, Spanish lime, pineapple. It's just really, really gorgeous. And on top of it just being so tropical and smelling like a vacation, it's really creamy. So I think this is a really dope pickup for the summer. So if you haven't already, please check out City Rhythms Puerto Rico. So keeping it with the City Rhythm fragrances, as I mentioned, this time I picked up Miami, and this is one of their very popular fragrances, as I mentioned. I got this from House of Dubai for like 20% off, so I was able to pick this bad boy up for about $100 for a 50 ml, and I was definitely in my tropical bag with this one. Instead of a creamy mango note, this is much heavier, this is much boozier, and Lord, I feel like I am cheating on Puerto Rico because, oof, this one is super good. If I find Puerto Rico the type of fragrance that you wear during the daytime on the beach, this is the fragrance you wear when you're at South Beach and you're ready for the nightlife. This is the one that you throw on. So it's another tropical scent, gorgeous, perfect for this time of year. Again, if you haven't checked out anything from City Rhythm, I suggest you check out Puerto Rico and Miami. Next up, we have from Lorenzo Pazzaglia, Van C. If you know me, you know I'm truly obsessed with this house at the current moment ever since I smelled Vampire Rum. I knew I was interested in his C collection, and the one in particular that really caught my attention was Van C. But for some reason, you couldn't find this anywhere. It seemed like it was either limited edition or discontinued. But then randomly, Olfactory sent an email saying they had a restock on his fragrances, and one of them happened to be Van C. I saw that plus 10% off. I jumped on it, and it came home with me, obviously. This vanilla is different from what I've smelled before. It's almost citrusy, but then it gives me somewhat marine vibes. There's a slight saltiness to it. It smells like if you have vanilla lotion on and you went into the ocean at the beach and then you got that seawater on you. That's the vibe it gives me. It's not a strong vanilla, but it's just, when you smell this, you know this is the type of vanilla you wear during the summer. So definitely glad I got this in my collection. And if you haven't already, check out Van C by Lorenzo Pazzaglia. Continuing with Lorenzo Pazzaglia fragrances, next up we have the new release of Speechless. I don't even know how I even came across and saw that it was available, but I happened to just be Googling probably his fragrances. Like I said, I'm obsessed. Weird, but yeah, I'm obsessed. So what? And I saw that Speechless was available from Max Aroma. So I had to pick it up. First I had to, let me just look up the notes instead of let me hit add to cart. I noticed it was, first of all, this fragrance is wild, but in a good way. There's a gazillion and one notes in here, but it's a peach dominant fragrance. Now, typically I'm not into peach, but when it comes to Lorenzo Pazzaglia, I'm intrigued. So blind bought this, picked it up from Max Aroma, and let me tell you something. When I unboxed this, the reaction that came out from me, I knew this was a banger. This is my fourth fragrance from this man's house for the summer, and I am obsessed. It smells like a juicy, ripe, fizzy type of peach that I know is going to be stunning in the warm weather. So if you haven't checked out his latest release, check out Speechless from Lorenzo Pazzaglia. So next up from the House of Creed, we have Virgin Island Water. This has been around for 10,000 years, but it's such a good tropical scent, refreshing scent. I remember smelling this a couple of years ago at Bloomingdale's with my friend, and although I thought it was really, really good, I wound up writing it off, just assuming because this was probably for men or it's masculine leaning. Obviously foolish of me, but I've been picking up a lot of lime and coconut fragrances lately, and I'm like, you know what? I remember this being good. Let me test it out. Test it out. Game over. I wound up picking this up from Nose Paris. I wanted a 50 ml. As you know, if you've seen my videos, I am weird if I have fragrances from a house and it's a certain size. I don't want a bigger size. My brain doesn't like that. So Nose Paris had this for about $200 or so, US dollars. And I wound up getting the 50 ml. And yeah, this one is like a tropical escape, essentially. It's just super refreshing. I know it gets a lot of hate because of the longevity, but I absolutely love it. So if you haven't already, you've been living under a rock, but definitely check out Creed's Virgin Island Water. Next up, we have from BDK, Villa Neroli. I almost skipped this, baby. I got this from Joma Shop, by the way. I almost skipped this because when I was watching YouTube fragrance reviews, I got the impression that this was mass leaning. And again, this is before, when I was a baby into my fragrance journey, I just assumed I wouldn't be interested in masculine leaning scents. Now, fast forward, I love masculine leaning scents, even though I don't find this to be too masculine leaning. So there's that. But this is a gorgeous scent. It's clean, it's fresh, a little bit of greenness to it. It gives Mediterranean vibes. Beautiful, beautiful orange blossom neroli type of scent that I love. So I knew I wanted this after smelling this at the scent bar here in New York. And it was just a matter of time of me finding the right deal and picking this up. So if you haven't already, check out BDK's Villa Neroli. Next up, we have from Clive Christian, from its Crown collection, Crab Apple Blossom. This fragrance I was very excited to pick up, but nervous at the same time. By the way, a lot of these fragrances are blind buys. I know, crazy, but I'm the type of person, if I look at notes and feel like I will enjoy that, I am going to blind buy it. So with that said, and plus I don't like samples. I've said that numerous of times, whatever. Anyway, so I was really excited about picking up this fragrance because the way I love blonde amber, I just felt like there had to be so much more quality from the house. So one, I picked this up because this bottle is stunning. And also two, the notes just seemed very interesting. But I'm not gonna lie, I was very nervous seeing notes of mojito, apple blossom, rhubarb. I didn't know what to expect, but I was pleasantly surprised when I unboxed this. This is really, really nice. It gives ocean breeze vibes. You're sipping a mojito, really, really gorgeous, perfect for this time of the year. It's a really nice freshie, and it was a successful blind buy. So if you haven't already, check out Clive Christian's Crab Apple Blossom. All right, we're rolling. Next up, we have from Matiere Premier, Vanilla Powder. I was very excited to pick up this fragrance. Why? It's been super hyped. I wound up smelling it from the scent bar last October or so, and I knew I needed this badly. I requested this for a gift. I didn't get it. I'm not mad, but eventually I wound up purchasing it myself. I wound up getting the 100 ml from Olfactory, even though I wanted a 50 ml, but I'm like, I'm such a vanilla lover. I might as well just pick up a big bottle. And this is, so moving forward, if I buy anything else from the house, that means I have to buy 100 ml, right? Right? Anyway, this is a gorgeous vanilla. I thought this was a fragrance that I would hold off on getting until the end of the year, thinking this was, you know, when you think of vanilla, you associate it with colder weather, but this isn't your typical sickly gourmand vanilla. It's powdery, it's cloud-like, it's airy, it's light, but still a beast at the same time. It's weird to put light and beast together, but that's exactly what it is. It doesn't give that heavy feeling, but it has staying power. So I was very excited to pick this up, and I knew that smelling this again, I feel like this was the perfect time to purchase it and wear it during this season. So if you haven't already, check out Matiere Premier's Vanilla Powder. All right, so next up we have from Mind Games, Counterplay. If you know me and you've been here, you know that Mind Games has been one of my, if not favorite house as of late. This is no exception. I received samples back during the holiday season of Counterplay and Opera Mate from So Avant-Garde. And once I smelled both of them, I knew I needed them. Now I'm a little bit on the fence with Opera Mate, but we'll revisit that some other time. But Counterplay, this was the fragrance I was picking up this summer. I was even willing to pay maybe close to retail just because I couldn't find it anywhere. But shout out to the plug, Fragrance Nevea. They wound up getting it in stock. It took a while for me to receive it, but it is what it is. And I got this for a really good price. I mean, just this screams tropics and the summertime. Guava, banana, orange blossom, and sandalwood. This is just fruity, but with depth and creamy. I had to purchase this. I mean, come on. It's Mind Games. I know it gets a lot of flack because of the performance with their fragrances, but I love it. I know how to make it work. So it is what it is. I actually picked up Blockade as well. I didn't unbox this because this is actually not for me. This is a gift. Shh. Hopefully he doesn't see this. But, you know, if he doesn't like it, I may keep it. I don't know. But just wanted to mention that also from Fragrance Nevea. No. I did it, not Fragrance Nevea, Olfactory. I picked up Blockade. So I'm just a great person. But yes, that is Mind Games, Counterplay, and also Blockade. Next up, we have Simone Andreoli's Sunplosion. Now, I've been seeing his fragrances all over social media as of late, but before I saw this one, I never saw any of his fragrances. But apparently, there's a lot of hyped up ones that I have to get my nose up on. But this caught my attention because I was watching someone's TikTok and they just mentioned, I guess, maybe top fruity fragrances they had or mango scents. I don't know. But once I heard, first of all, the name Sunplosion and the bottle is gorgeous. And once you hear Sunplosion, it's like, okay, what's that? And then with notes of mango and guava, I needed parts of that. So I picked that one up from Scent Split, had a 15 or 18% off discount code. So it dropped the price pretty low. And this one is summer in a bottle. It's fruity, but at the same time, you know how when something is fruity, it's just a little too much? This has coconut water in it, so it makes it almost refreshing, almost watery like. So again, obviously another summer staple fragrance that I needed to add in my collection, and we have it. So if you haven't already, check out Simone Andreoli's Sunplosion. Next up, we have from Jusbox, Carioca Heart. Now, if you've been living under a rock, then no. If you haven't heard, if you haven't heard about this fragrance, you have been living under a rock. This fragrance was very, very, very popular last year, and I tried to get my hands on it, but every time we turned around, it was definitely sold out, even up until earlier this year. But when I said I was on a no buy, Then, of course, So Avant-Garde had this in stock. So I'm like, all right, I might as well buy it. So I wound up purchasing it and actually getting what, 20-30% off of this. So very, very popular scent. This is not a safe blind buy, I will tell you that, but I enjoy it just because I enjoy the notes. This is not your typical tropical scent. It's very heavy with the rum, boozy notes, mango. I even detect a little spice in this. This actually reminds me a little bit like Lattafa's Honor and Glory. Different notes, but it reminds me of that. So this isn't a safe blind buy, but it is a good one. I can see why it's very, very popular. So if you haven't already, I'm letting you know now. You've been living under a rock. Pick up Jusbox Carioca Art. I think we're almost done, or we're getting there, but thank you so much for staying with me. Next up, we have Kayali's Maui in the bottle. Picked this up from Sephora, which I'm actually now mad because I realized I had some points on Huda Beauty and I could have got like $30 off of this, but it's whatever. Maui in the bottle. I'm so glad that I waited and I didn't, the impulse in me to purchase the 10 ml that they came out with last year, since now we have the 50 ml. This is a cute fragrance. This isn't groundbreaking. I always say that about Kayali fragrances. Don't expect that you're gonna get some world-renowned scent you've never smelled before. This is really cute, very sweet, banana type of scent. My friend has a 10 ml and she showed me how the juice sweetened, so it obviously macerated over time. And I can tell by smelling hers how much stronger the scent is. But this is a gorgeous scent for the summertime. I don't have too many banana fragrances, so I definitely wanted to pick this one up, and I'm glad I have it. So that is Kayali's Maui in a bottle. Next up, we have from Room 1015, Wave Child. This fragrance I wound up receiving, you know, I don't get it with these packages. Like, I get it, like it's dope, but why is it hard for me to get into this? I got a sample from Max Aroma and I smelled that. I'm like, oh yeah, I want that. I don't have any type of watermelon in my collection, so I knew I wanted to add that. When I went looking for it, I saw that a lot of places had it sold out, including Max Aroma, Scent Split, and the official website. So toxic me panicked, like, oh, am I ever gonna get this fragrance? I know it's weird and crazy to have that mindset, but yeah, eventually it wound up being back in stock. Scent Split had it, and they're always sending me coupons, like, which I see what you're doing. You're always making me spend money. So wound up getting this on a discount. The bottle is actually very stunning. It gives me nostalgic vibes, honestly. Yeah, it's a prominent watermelon scent, but it's also creamy. I believe it has coconut, and I think it has rum in there. So it reminds me of almost like a watermelon Jolly Rancher. Really, really nice. Something I don't have in my collection, and obviously perfect for the summertime. If you haven't already, check out Room 1015's Wave Child. Next up, we have from Sol de Janeiro 39. This is a cult favorite that they brought back. It's limited time only. Who knows? It might be a staple, whatever. I definitely picked this up because of hype. I saw a lot of reviews where people said this reminds them of Cheirosa 71, and I actually despise that one. I think that's actually gross, so I don't agree with that. This one is very nice. It's coconutty, creamy, gourmandy. I mean, I can see why people, as I'm smelling it, it smells like 71, but 71 I was repulsed by. This one I'm definitely not. Really, really nice scent. Perfect for the summertime, even though it smells like a gourmand, but it's definitely refreshing like you would wear in the summertime. So if you haven't, limited time only, check out Sol de Janeiro's Cheirosa 39. Next up, we have the ever so popular from Goldfield and Bake's Ingenious Ginger. If you've been living under a rock still, you know that this fragrance has been heavily talked about, also along with Sospiro's Vibrato. And we'll talk about that one in a second. This one wasn't really on my radar. I got a sample of it from Nose Paris. I was more interested in their Bohemian Lime just because I've been picking up a lot of lime fragrances. But then I realized, no, this is the one I need to get because Bohemian Lime felt very masculine, although like I've mentioned, I am into masculine scents. But this one right here, I needed to pick up. And of course, I'm weird. I had to get 100 ml and you can't find it anywhere. And if you do, chances are it's not going to be in stock for too long. I picked this up from House of Dubai, got 20% off, and it came home with me. This is a beautiful, bright, zingy type of fragrance, and then the dry down is so creamy. Gorgeous, gorgeous scent, and I can see why this is very popular specifically for this season. So if you have not already, make sure you get your nose on Ingenious Ginger from Goldfield and Banks. Next up, we have from Sospiro, Vibrato. This is another heavily discussed one specifically for this time of the year. I picked this up from Fragrance Lord. It's often compared to Ingenious Ginger just because it's a similar ginger type of fragrance, but it's completely different in the sense of this one has more of a bite to it. It's more citrusy, it's a little bit greener, and it's the projection on this one is crazy. And I also find this a little bit more masculine than Ingenious Ginger. So I think those are the difference without going too in depth with it, the difference between the two. But this is gorgeous, very refreshing, beast mode type of fragrance for this time of the year that you should definitely check out. So if you haven't, check out Sospiro's Vibrato. And lastly, yes, lastly, we have from Ex Nihilo, Blue Talisman. This is very hyped up, rightfully so, but I will admit that I'm not wowed by it during my first initial sprays. I think I need to sit with this a little bit more. I don't have pear-centered fragrances in my collection, so that was another reason why I was interested. I picked this baby up from Nose Paris for about $200 or so, 50 ml. Didn't need a big bottle. I'm glad I didn't get a big bottle just because if I wasn't initially wowed by it. So we'll see, but it's a nice, safe, blind buy type of scent. It's fruity, it's refreshing. The masses will enjoy this one. So we'll see as time goes on if I like it or not. But yeah, that is my video. Thank you so much for staying with me. 18 bottles later. You know what you gotta do. Stay blessed, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of my fragrance haul and if I should pick anything else up. Probably shouldn't pick up anything else because I did clearly too much. Always remember, the best compliment one can get is that you smell so good.